What about you? What did you do yesterday? Please write down at least 3 sentences about yesterday's activities. Let me give you 1 minute for that. Hello Bilayal! This is Sherwin and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the past simple. I have divided this video into 2 parts, so make sure that you check out the second part. Let's get down to business. This video will present the simple past tense, its use and its form. Before we continue the lesson, read the following sentences and try to see how the verbs are formed and used. The verbs went, bought, cleaned, painted, and was are in the simple past tense. Now look at the 3 sentences you wrote about yesterday's activities. Can you underline the verbs? Are they in the simple past tense? They should be. When do we use the simple past tense? Use the simple past to express the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. Sometimes, the speaker may not actually mention the specific time, but they do have one specific time in mind. Let's look at these examples. Number 1. I saw a movie yesterday. I didn't play football yesterday. Number 3. Last year, I traveled to Japan. They are all examples of completed actions in the past because they have a specific time, like yesterday and last year. Let's have a knowledge check. You have 10 seconds to choose your answer. Time is up. Of course, the answer is letter B, because it happened last night. We use the simple past to list a series of completed actions in the past. These actions happen first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Let's look at these examples. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. Number 2, he arrived from the airport at 8, checked into the hotel at 9, and met the others at 10. Knowledge check. You are correct. The answer is letter A. The simple past can be used with a duration which starts and stops in the past. A duration is a longer action, often indicated by expressions such as for 2 years, for 5 minutes, all day, all year, and so forth. Examples: I lived in Muscat for 2 years. Fatima studied English for 5 years. We talked on the phone for 30 minutes. Let's do the knowledge check. You are correct. The answer is letter A. The simple past can also be used to describe a habit which stopped in the past. It can have the same meaning as used to. To make it clear that we are talking about habit, we often add expressions such as always, often, usually, never, when I was a child, when I was younger, and more. Here are some examples. I studied French when I was a child. He played the violin when he was younger. They never went to school. They always skipped class. Knowledge check. The answer is letter B. The simple past can also be used to describe past facts or generalizations which are no longer true. This is also quite similar to the expression used to. Let's see the examples. She was shy as a child, but now she's very outgoing. He didn't like tomatoes before. Did you live in Muscat when you were a kid? Let's check your knowledge. You are correct. The answer is letter A. Now let's look at the simple past forms. We will begin with regular verbs. Let's look back at our sample text message. Notice that cleaned and painted are regular past forms. A regular verb is one that conforms to the usual rule for forming its simple past tense and its past participle. In English, the usual rule is to add ed or d to the base form of the verb to create the past forms. These are some examples. Start, started. Die, died. Visit, visited. Play, played. Marry, married. Now, how do we spell the past forms of regular verbs? Number 1, add ed to most verbs. Examples: jump, jumped. Paint, painted. If a verb of one syllable ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, double the final consonant and add ed. Let's look at this example word, plan. As you can see here, L is a consonant, A is a vowel, and N is also a consonant. Therefore, forming the pattern CVC. So you have to double the last consonant. Let's have two more examples. Chat, chatted. Stop, stopped. Take note of the double letters in the spelling of their past forms. If the final consonant is W, X, or Y, don't double it. Examples: renew, renewed; play, played; fix, fixed. If the last syllable of a longer verb is stressed and ends with consonant-vowel-consonant, double the last consonant and add ed. Look at the following examples. Emit, emitted; prefer, preferred. If the first syllable of a longer verb is stressed and the verb ends consonant-vowel-consonant, just add ed. Open, opened; enter, entered; swallow, swallowed. If the verb ends in e, just add d. Example: dance, danced; celebrate, celebrated. If the verb ends with consonant plus y, change the y to an I and add ed. Look at the examples. Cry, cried; fry, fried; study, studied. Take note that we replace y with I and then we add ed. Knowledge check. You are going to write the past form of the verbs and you have 20 seconds for each set. Time is up. Here are the answers. Are you ready for the next set? Here we go! Good job! Please check your answers. I hope you had fun in this activity. Let's continue with irregular verbs. Do you remember this text message? Please take note that went, bought, and was are all irregular verbs. Remember this: an irregular verb changes its spelling. Here are some examples for you. Please take note that the infinitive is also called verb 1 and the simple past is also called verb 2. Be, was, were; write, wrote; come, came; do, did; speak, spoke. As you can see, we cannot predict the simple past forms of these irregular verbs. You should learn them by heart. It is somewhat ironic that the most regularly used verbs in English are irregular. These are the examples. I am also going to show you some irregular verbs that don't change their spelling. Please try to remember the simple past forms of these verbs because we are going to have knowledge check. Are you ready to write the past form of the verb? Okay. Time is up. Let's check your answers. Be ready for the next set. You are awesome. See the answers. That's it for the first part of this topic, the past simple. Please don't forget to check out the second part because there we're going to talk about the form or the structure of the past simple. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.